individual.
Go ahead, Max.
Ooh, this guy's got swag.
Hey Sharks, my name is Max Anderson. I'll be here representing Bug Commander today. So today we are seeking $100,000 for so the tale of Bug Commander. Here we got my old man Tim, our neighbor Josh, and then this is me. So 3 years ago, my dad and Josh, both homeowners, got their yard sprayed for mosquitoes, and it was great. All summer long we didn't have any bugs. No spiders, mosquitoes, ticks, box elder bugs, all that crap. And every year the price would go up about 25 bucks, and my dad's like, heck with this. I'm sick of them taking advantage of us. They were the only company in the area that offered the service. So he said, I'm going to buy my own sprayer, I'm going to figure out what chemical they use, and we're going to do it ourselves. So Josh is an old employee of his at my dad's cabinet business, and they got together and they're like, all right, let's split the cost, let's do this, maybe spray a couple family friends and see if we can break even. The startup cost ended up being $5,000, and we used Josh's Chevy pickup truck. So we're looking into the summer, doing a little bit of math, thinking that if we spray 30 jobs, we could break even, and 40 would be crazy ideal. A month and a half later, we had over 300 jobs done. We didn't know what we were getting into. The little hobby that we thought we were starting turned into a pretty profitable business. Moving on, why we do what we do. We want to provide safe and fun pest-free environments for families and friends. That's what this company had done for us multiple years in a row, and we think that we can gain a good following by giving the people the opportunity to go back out in their yards and be safe, have fun, and be pest-free. How we do what we do, we apply a wide range insecticide, making a barrier around the residents and commercial properties. So I'll use this little card here for an example. If this is your yard and your house is in the middle, if you have shrubs and trees and whatnot around the outside, we will actually come in with our trucks, and we have 300-foot hoses on our 200-gallon tanks, and we'll spray around the entire exterior, spray your house and everything in between that's going to be there for the next 3 months, because our product will be there for the next 3 months, and it will kill the mosquitoes and all the other bugs. So what we do, I swear we had this before Trump came out, or Bryce Harper with this whole baseball thing, but we make being outside fun again. Doing that, we kill mosquitoes, flies, spiders, box elders, ants, ticks, and lady Asian beetles, and so much more. This is actually the first mosquito we ever killed on our little card here. Had to take a picture and document it. Logistics. The cost of our treatment varies depending on the size of the property, difficulty, and distance traveled, ranging from around 150 up to 650. So what we do is we have a kind of like a math equation, and we go around and we'll measure the distance around the perimeter of someone's yard, and then we multiply that by a certain amount of cents, add that on to the initial fee for just showing up, and then the whole difficulty thing is going to be added in if they have a ton of trees or a really big house or all these different things that we're going to have to work around and pull our hoses around. We'll tack on a little bit more for that, and also distance travel. We currently travel to any location between Northern Metro and Duluth. We've also gone as far west as St. Cloud and as far east as the Wisconsin border. We're up in Moore, Minnesota, about an hour north of here. So this is a once-a-year treatment for the mosquitoes. We're looking to get into also spiders for lake homes in the spring, and then box elder and ladybug treatment in the late fall. So our problems are our customers are looking for more services. They want more from us. We've done a good job of showing them that we're loyal and they can trust us, and we show up when we tell them we're going to. We offer a high quality service for a lower price than our competitor. In order to do this, we're going to need new licensing to expand into new markets. To do spiders on people's lake homes and cabins, we need what's called a structural master's license. It's a 2-year process. If we go and work for another company that has this license, or according to the state of Minnesota Agriculture Department, we can hire on someone who has this master's license working for another company such as Ecolabs or Plunkett's, Adams Pest Control. They can come and affiliate with us and teach us all the different aspects of this master license and become journeymans under them, kind of like an electrical journeyman and master's license, until we obtain the master license on our own over the course of 2 years. We also don't have the capital to buy the new equipment that is needed over the course of the next 4 years. Our growth plan is pretty steep, and we need new trucks and new sprayers and a couple other things to get to where we want to be. Another one of our biggest problems is our current software is Google Drive. Right when we started, it was a hobby, and we're like, all right, yeah, we can figure out how to do Google Sheets for 30 people, and then we have my sister sitting in her bedroom on her laptop, and all of a sudden the calls keep coming in and coming in, and she's like, okay, well, we got 65 calls today, and it was really tough to keep it all on there, but right now that's where we're at, and we'd like to purchase Salesforce to go to the next level. So why do we need your guys' help? We need funding to be able to move into the Emerald Ash Borer, which is going to be coming in the next couple of years up into Minnesota, get into the spider industry, and also here's BC1, Bug Commander 1, our first truck. This picture was taken 3 years ago with our nifty little sprayer in the back. Since then, we've accumulated a lot more rust and about 30,000 more miles. She's about due for a replace. We have 3 of them going in the fleet right now, and this is one of the ones that we're looking to move on to the next. So what we need a structural license, which we can, there's a couple different ways you can obtain it, whether you pay someone to come and work for you. Right now we're trying to work out a deal with a guy where I would actually go and work for him and his bed bug company during our off season. So we're not exactly sure how we're going to do that, but funding would help, be a little bit more enticing. We'd like to gain 5 trucks, 5 sprayers and hose, Salesforce, 8 iPads for in the trucks, and people can use it for directions and pricing and bids, and then also 2 tree treatment systems to get rid of the box elder bugs. What we want to do, we want to keep up with cutting edge technology with the iPads and Salesforce, and a relevant licensure so that we can ensure the best possible application for our customers. We'd like to triple our manpower and revenues by 2017 with increased market share and new services that are available. Our costs, 5 trucks. We like to not really buy the most latest and greatest things. We have no desire to be driving brand new pickups. All the trucks that we have right now are $7,000 or less. Usually 3/4 ton Chevys is kind of our go-to. So we're looking to kind of get into the long haul here and maybe spend a little bit more than we have in the past with $10,000 a piece. The 5 sprayers are going to cost about $4,500 a piece. We're not sure exactly what we want to do with Salesforce, but we're looking at maybe spending $5,000 to $10,000. 8 iPads, 2, and just kind of the other stuff I was talking about, the 2 tree treatment packages, which consists of a little spade that you push into the ground, into the roots of the emerald, or the ash trees, that we can spray some juice into there, or some treatment that will go into the tree and kill the bugs. And then we also need to up our advertisement if we're going to expand into these other markets. So BC by the numbers. We started up with $5,000, and the rest is history. Gross profits year 1 and year 2, you can kind of see side by side here how we've grown. We ended up growing about 50%. We did 450 jobs last year, and we ended up turning away a lot of customers just because we only had 2 trucks running at that point, and we weren't able to keep up with the demand. Retained earnings increased a lot by having a lot less cost for sprayers since we already owned our sprayers, but this is something that we're going to have to run into as we want to grow more costs in the setup. Projections, the mosquito industry is growing by 3 times yearly because what we do at Bug Commander and also our competitors is something completely different than Mosquito Squad and all these other companies where they come in and they do some fogging. Generally it will last about 2 to 3 weeks. What this other company, Bugmeister, and us do is we come in with these 200-gallon tanks where they just have the little backpacks on, and we apply this treatment. We shoot it actually at 400 PSI and then go 30 feet up and 30 feet back, and we just soak everything so that it will last substantially longer than these other companies. So what we look to do is gain market share from Mosquito Squad and also Bugmeister, who is up in our area. We're the local guys, and we know that we can do it cheaper than them and also offer a better service. So at the end of the day, we plan to become $1 million company by 2020, and we think we can do that through these projections. Any questions?
Great presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You look really comfortable. I feel like you know your business and you know your product. You sounded like you had a really good plan for what you needed and what you're asking for. I feel like you're a subject matter expert, and that makes me comfortable as an investor. I'll think about whether or not I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, for 20%.
Yeah. So that was really great. I love the equation with your costs and things and your expansion. I like to see a business model. Like, it's great if you offer great service now. What are you gonna do 3 years from now when you're not the only kid on the block? So I think it's great that you're thinking about those things.
Thank you.
I'll let you guys go, because I got a whole bunch.
I do too. What do you need to do for advertising?
Right now,
Yeah.
we have these business cards. The first year, we actually didn't do anything. I started up a little Facebook page, and I think we spent $5. Kind of, we're just holding on to our pants, trying to stay on top and not fall behind, so we didn't have time for advertising. It was a lot of word of mouth. We live in a pretty close-knit community up in Mora, so that was huge for us. That's really how we became who we are. And then going into the next year, we did a lot more with Facebook. We did some advertising in our local paper, 5-county paper, and then yard signs was huge last year. We paid $300 for 50 yard signs, and every time that we went to a job that was on a major road, shoved it in there and got quite a few calls.
Do you have a cost per acquisition? How much it costs for you to acquire a customer?
We do not know.
What's the average revenue per customer?
It totally depends on who it is. We don't have an average. When we have to travel up to Mille Lacs Lake, and we actually have a little route there where we have 20 jobs in a row, and they're all very cheap. Someone else decided that a family friend of ours went knocking on all the doors and said, "Hey, Bug Commander, we'll come and spray you guys for $100. And we're like, "Oh, well, we didn't know that we were doing this for $100, because as we learned earlier, it's $150. It's kind of our bare minimum. But we can get through there in about a half a day and make $2,000. Obviously, there's going to be cost with about $250 worth of chemical, and it varies day by day. Don't know that off the top of our head.
So, but the year where you did 90,000, you said gross profit, I assume that's top line revenue though, right?
Correct?
Right, the gross sales, I think
Gross
it's,
sales,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
So, is that the year you did 300?
Nope, that was the year we did 450.
You did 450, so roughly $200 per customer.
Yes.
Okay. And is it fair to say that each and every one of those customers you could then market to the next year and go back as a repeat customer?
Yep, we actually just sent out our flyers yesterday. Since we're there and have their address.
And you should track how many people you keep, you retain, and
Yeah.
your lifetime earnings, you'll want to be calculating those kinds of things.
90 to 95% last year.
Renewed? You got another one?
From the previous year, from year 1 to year 2, about 95, so.
So if, I mean, clearly we're in Minnesota, right? So there's mosquitoes all over the place. They're kind of our state bird. Why bother going to different areas if you can knock this out of the park and scale this indefinitely?
It is great for the 1 month that we work. We work from June 1st to July 4th. We can't spray until the leaves are fully bloomed, because they're going to be there for the long haul. And if we go and spray them and they're only half the size that they're going to be by July, then we lose half the surface area where the mosquitoes are going to be during the day and at night. So we wait until they're all the way out, then we go and spray those, and that's around June 1st. And then the season is usually over by about July 4th, because other people such as Mosquito Squad offer services that cost half as much as ours, and there's the last 2 to 3 weeks. And once you get to that point, people are like, you know what, I'm gonna go with the low-cost provider right now, because it's gonna do, but next year we're calling you in May. So what we'd like to do is do things to keep us busy in May, which is the spiders. We go up to the cabins and you can spray cabins, because cabins are already existing and whatnot. Go up to Mille Lacs Lake and up in the Brainerd areas. And then late fall, we have a lot of customers asking us to come back and kind of touch up the wear and tear of the treatment on the houses for the box elder bugs.
David, why don't you set up and go one last question as you set up for the next presentation, if there is another one.
I got a lot more.
I know,
Okay.
you are.
How long would it take you to train in a new squad?
We're actually training in 5 more people this year. Planning on doing it about a half a day. We are gonna be doing, well, that's a hands-on training. We have to pass multiple tests in order to be able to apply the treatments, and a meeting with a couple buddies later on this week. We're gonna do a little late night studying and go and do the testing the next morning.
One last real Shark Tank type of question.
Yeah.
What makes you think that you're worth $500,000?
Thank you.
It's lofty, I know, but I think that over the course of the next 3 years, the amount of potential that we have to grow with these new markets and also in the mosquito market, we have a lot of potential to really expand into these markets.
Stuck to his guns.
I know.
To the end.
All right, let's give him a hand. And if people want to linger afterwards and talk more, we're happy to do that. I want to try to respect the timelines as much as possible here.
I was like, we already found our roles.